You've probably seen Crystal Head Vodka before. After all, it's hard to miss. But there's more to Crystal Head Vodka than its funky bottle, from its history to accolades. This is the inside story of this unique celebrity-owned spirit. In 1975, a 22-year-old Canadian joined the writing team of an upcoming comedy sketch show called Saturday Night Live. Dan Akroyd's starring role on what would become one of the most popular comedies on television kicked off a successful career, eventually leading him to act in the 1984 classic Ghostbusters. In 1992, Akroyd turned his attention to business and founded the House of Blues concert hall and restaurant chain. He later became interested in spirits. Per the BBC, Akroyd first focused on getting Patron tequila imported to Canada, before starting his own liquor company. Crystal Head makes high-quality vodka, but its success has been boosted in part thanks to Akroyd's celebrity status. Holly Wyatt, managing partner of Kinetic Brands, told the BBC, "When Akroyd launched it, it was cool because it was him." When Dan Akroyd began working with spirits, his future business partner was involved with spirits of another kind. According to Drink Spirits, Akroyd's friend, John Alexander, had been attending the annual Day of the Dead celebration in Mexico for several years, and the holiday tradition celebrating the ghosts of deceased relatives provided the perfect springboard for Crystal Head Vodka's now iconic bottle. Akroyd explained the mythic symbolism of the skull-shaped container in an interview with Hort Living, saying, "The Crystal Head skull bottle concept derives from a spiritual place. In legend, the Aztec, Mayan, and Navajo tribes each possessed a crystal skull, which they used primarily for scrying. This was to serve the well-being of their people, power through sacred purity." Akroyd explained that the careful ingredients and manufacturing processes used in his vodka line are meant to reflect this dedication to and appreciation of purity. Though Dan Akroyd started the Crystal Head Vodka business, John Alexander was the mastermind behind the design. Alexander is a visual artist who works in a variety of mediums, predominantly painting. His work has been featured all over the world in private collections and esteemed museums like the New York City Metropolitan Museum of Art and the Houston Museum of Fine Art. When he turned his attention to the crystal skull, it took him 2 years to perfect it. Luckily, he had the help of Bruni Glass, a packaging manufacturing company originally based in Milan, Italy, to perfect the iconic bottle.
It all began with our crystal clear, iconic skull-shaped bottle.
In 2010, just a few years after Crystal Head's release, Ontario banned sales of the vodka across the province. A Liquor Control Board of Ontario spokesman told the Globe and Mail, "The image of the human skull is the thing that's really problematic for us. That's an image that's commonly associated with death. It's especially problematic at a time when there are concerns around binge drinking by younger adults, which in some cases unfortunately has resulted in alcohol poisoning." Crystal Head Vodka was still able to be sold in restaurants and bars, but consumers couldn't buy the skull-shaped bottles in stores. Akroyd defended the skull, telling the Globe and Mail, "It's not a menacing head, it doesn't have crossbones under it." Luckily, the ban didn't last long. In 2011, just a year after it was put in place, the LCBO revoked their ban and Crystal Head was released on shelves across the province. As for how Dan Akroyd managed to get his product into Ontario liquor stores, he had some help from Crystal Head fans. In an interview with the Globe and Mail, Akroyd said, "The public basically started a kind of letter writing and web campaign to ask why it was not available. The consumer really pulled it through for us." Crystal Head Vodka outdid itself in 2020 when it released the first commercially available agave vodka. Dubbed Crystal Head Onyx, the spirit is made using blue Weber agave that comes from one particular Mexican farm, resulting in a fresh and consistent taste in all bottles. The agave, which is typically used in tequila, gives the vodka a subtle flavor, both spicy and sweet. Like most Crystal Head products, the bottle is its own work of art. The Crystal Head Onyx bottle is a black version of the glass head, symbolizing the onyx crystal for which it's named. Akroyd told Food and Beverage magazine, "With Onyx, we wanted to make an innovative liquid, an agave-based vodka, with an equally imaginative bottle to match."
Onyx is like nothing you have ever tasted before, and people are loving it.
The quality and flavor of Crystal Head Vodka has garnered praise across the world, and Akroyd's diamond-infused processing techniques have received acclaim and helped the brand stand out from the crowd. At the San Francisco World Spirits Competition in 2011, over 200 vodkas competed for awards, but only a few brands, including Crystal Head, took home the prestigious double gold medal. The following year, Crystal Head's success continued at the Australian Liquor Industry Awards. The vodka company won 2 highly coveted awards in the New Product of the Year and the Luxury Spirits categories. The competition was fierce down under, with popular brands like Jack Daniel's and Johnnie Walker battling for international acclaim. In May of 2011, a Crystal Head Vodka warehouse in California was robbed. The thieves disappeared with over 21,000 bottles of vodka, leading to many logistical questions as to how and where the vodka could have gone. Even stranger was Dan Akroyd's reaction to the news, which he described to TMZ as distressed and elated. Somehow, Akroyd was able to keep a sense of humor about the ordeal and said in a statement, "My partners and I are sorry to lose this much vodka to theft and do not condone criminal activity in any fashion, but we are happy that some consumers will be afforded the opportunity of tasting it at significantly lower than retail price." The intricate process behind Crystal Head Vodka starts with one simple ingredient: peaches and cream corn. From there, the product is distilled and mixed with pure water that comes from Newfoundland, Canada. Crystal Head filters their vodka 7 times to ensure their product's purity, and part of this process entails mixing the vodka with Herkimer diamonds. Herkimer diamonds are a kind of quartz crystal that have been around for some 500 million years. After World War II, vodka manufacturers began filtering vodka using charcoal instead of wood products, which had been the preferred method up until then. From there, it was a short jump to diamonds, which are the compressed version of charcoal. And diamonds, of course, sounds a little more refined than charcoal, making it an excellent marketing venture for vodka distillers. With vodka, it's easy to make delicious cocktails with pretty much anything you have lying around. But for Dan Akroyd, the best way to drink Crystal Head is to let the vodka itself shine, without muddying the clear, sharp flavour with mixers or syrups. Akroyd told Vine Pair, "I'll take 2.5 ounces of the head, shaken up in a martini glass with a little shavings of ice in there. Add a twist, and prior to the pour, just a rinse of really fine white vermouth." Though traditional martinis are made with gin, vodka martinis have risen in popularity, and once you try it with Crystal Head, you might become a convert. But if martinis aren't your favourite, Akroyd recommends sipping the vodka neat in a chilled shot glass or mixing it into a cosmopolitan by shaking it with white cranberry juice, elderberry syrup, and an egg white. Though Akroyd comes off as a laid-back kind of guy, even he won't stand by while someone steals his product design. In 2019, Crystal Head's parent company, Globeville, sued a Mexican tequila maker for trademark infringement, according to the Chicago Tribune. The rival tequila bottle design was described as, per the lawsuit, a crystal bottle with the stylized form of a masked human head that resembles a masked man. The lawsuit Akroyd's company filed claimed that confusion between the 2 bottles was all but guaranteed, stating that there were only 2 skull-shaped liquor bottles on the market, and only one should remain. In 2017, a similar lawsuit was filed, a battle Crystal Head Vodka easily won, according to McHattie Law. The trial featured consumers making claims about whether or not the 2 skull bottles were confusingly similar. Based on the verdict, it appears they were. In 2013, Crystal Head Vodka was named the official vodka for the Rolling Stones' 50th anniversary worldwide celebration. Akroyd told Stockhouse of this match made in heaven. Crystal Head honouring the Stones in this way makes perfect sense. The Stones make great music with passion and creativity, and Crystal Head makes great vodka the same way. Their 50th anniversary worldwide tour brought together fans of all ages as they travelled across the US with several dates in the UK, ultimately exposing a lot of Stones fans to this premium vodka. In 2008, Akroyd was hard at work perfecting what would become his renowned Crystal Head Vodka. Unbeknownst to Akroyd, Steven Spielberg was, at the same time, putting the finishing touches on Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Once he realised, Akroyd told Empire Australia, "I didn't want him to think that I was ripping him off." In an effort to avoid any awkwardness, he called Spielberg to explain that it was mere coincidence that caused their similar ideas. According to Akroyd, Spielberg wasn't concerned. As the actor revealed,
And he said, had I known you were working on it, I would have had it at the premiere of our movie.
Unfortunately, Indiana Jones didn't have much of a premiere, and it was too late to market the two products together. Still, Akroyd was relieved to have Spielberg's support. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more mashed videos about your favourite drinks are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.